Alright. Let me start off this video saying a couple things. One, I actually didn't plan on making any videos at all, but I got so fucked up Halloween, and some people liked it. So this is me sober as fuck, and I'm telling you right now, some of y'all are not gonna like the shit I am about to say. But I also have to establish some things before I go into my giant rant. I am not religious by any means. I mean, I'm walking distance of a church and all that shit. But it wasn't big in my family at all. I couldn't tell you why. They just weren't into it. So what's today? Wednesday? So not the previous, like a week and a half ago, let's say it that, I was gifted a Bible at work, and you know he was so. Let me tell you how this actually happened. So one of my coworkers, it was kind of dead at work, so we were kind of just fucking around, and I was like, I had a bullshit religious conspiracy theory. It's not really bullshit. I still can't think I'm right on that until further evidence. So I said, God gave Satan everything he ever wanted, but he was so prideful he had no idea. And then this kind of just spoiled into a domino effect, where one of the tables at my work was a Bible study group. And so for like 45 minutes, I was bullshitting with them, and one of them went up and was like, you know what, dude? You seem curious as hell. I'm going to pull it back out again. I'm going to give you this Bible. And this is the dude's like personal binder. There were like notes, there were little tabs in this. I don't know, but it was like, this is like his main one. And he's like, dude, I'll just get another Bible. It's not a big deal. This is more important for you to have it. So I was genuinely moved by this. I don't know. I'm not used to shit like that. And I started reading it, and this is the video that's going to be on Genesis in particularly. I finished this Monday. I had to like properly articulate my thoughts on why I think certain things happened the way it did. I have sticky notes off camera just to help me out. And yeah. So this is my, hold on, let me put my flippers on. This is my genuine review of Genesis as a non-religious person reading the Bible for the first time. I'm going to start off with the good stuff. At least I think funny facts that I myself would have never thought of. So, number one, God named whales. God named whales. Alright, so in the thing, it says Adam specifically names all the birds. I took the flippers off. The birds and the animals. But whales, in particular whales, I'm actually gonna bring it up right now. I'm actually going to bring it up because I know exactly where it is. The rest of the stuff I'm talking about, I just kind of have like, I took notes. I think it was literally. Oh, it's right here. It's right here. It's backwards, but you can't see it. It's literally on the other side. It's literally page 2 of the Bible. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them. Oh, I left my hoodie outside, shit. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let fowl multiply on the earth. And the evening and the morning were the 5th day. Adam was made on the 6th. Yeah. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was sick. Whales being like older than humanity. That was pretty sick. Technically all the animals are, but like whales being literally name dropped before the guy that named everything. I thought that was a pretty cool fact. I thought that was sick. Alright. What did I put for number 2 on this? Okay, this is for Noah's Ark. So in most media, I don't know about y'all, but most medium I've watched as a kid, whether it be my notes fell off. Movies, TV, anything animated, there's always 2 There's always two of them. But it turns out, in the Bible, it actually says 7 clean, 2 unclean. And the 2 unclean part, I'm actually going to snowball into this when I get to the Noah part. I'm letting you know right now, Noah pissed me off. Pissed me off really bad. We're on the good portion of the video, though, so I got to lock in. The 7 clean species and the 2 unclean explain why certain species died out. Well, I explain like Nephilim were MIA like Finding Nemo for most of history until they popped up once in a while. So I'm gonna elaborate on that when I get to the Noah part of the crash. Okay. But I thought that was just a fun fact because in most media I've seen it was only the 2 clean part. Like I don't know what this was from, but I couldn't tell you what this was from, but I remember it. This dude was on the ark and a snake was about to like bite him and kill him. And he got to it beforehand, and one of the guys came in. He's like, "Dude, what are you doing? You just wiped out an entire species." So I thought that was sick. All right, what did I put for number 3? All right, so this is at the very end of Genesis, pretty much the last portion of it. But Joseph is the goat of Genesis. I'm sorry. I will not tolerate. I curse this whole bloodline straight up because the other parts of this is all going to be in the bad portion. But Joseph was so go to the flow. He's like, God will work it out. I know God has my back, and anything that bad happens to me is going to be played out in a good way, and it fucking worked out. It all just worked out because I'm gonna spoil some shit. By Genesis spoiler warning. I don't know if I have to put that in there or not. I'll wait like 5 seconds. All right. So all of his brothers. So Joseph is the son of Jacob. I think he's the eldest of Jacob. I have to reread that section again. He's the eldest of Jacob, and all of his brothers hated him. His dad loved him. He was like, "Oh, you're such a good noodle. Get all the head pats and shit, whatever." His brothers were jealous as fuck. So they plotted to jump and kill this guy, their own fucking brother, because they were that jealous. And you know what, They sold him off to slavery, right? So he's in the slave house. He's in the slave to this guy. What's his name? I think it's Phoi something. I think that's his name, Phoi. I can't remember his name right now. I don't even know where it is in the book. But Joseph had the ability to interpret dreams for other people. So when he was slaving around, he interpreted other people's dreams, and it got to the point where he ran the prison he was held in. He was so like, I don't know what the term, like notorious, infamous, like well known. I think well known would be better. That the Pharaoh himself pulled up. Listen, I need you to help interpreting my dream, or I'm just gonna kill you, because he tried to have other people interpret it and they just kill him off. So Joseph interpreted his dream as a 7-year famine, which was gonna hit Egypt relatively soon. And so he's like, "Yo, dude, can you help me fix this?" And Joseph's like, "I got you, dude. Don't even worry about it." And so the Pharaoh was so grateful that he helped him save his country that he hooked him up with everything he got. He was pretty much second in command, aside from the Pharaoh. And then his brother, and then the famine actually hit. The famine actually hit. He wasn't capping. The famine hit. And his brothers were in the land of Canaan. We'll get to that shit in the Noah part. They pulled up to Egypt to get corn, and look who's fucking there. Joseph. And guess what? He forgave them. He forgave his brothers from selling him into slavery and being jealous and shit. And I thought that was very powerful for me personally, because up to this point, everybody in the book is a schmuck, aside from this guy called Edom, which was my next point. Aside from this next guy called Edom, I thought is pretty cool. And he was just a genuine dude. He let God, like, yo, anything bad happened to me, God got my back. I know for a fact God has my back, so I'm going to let it all play out. And I don't know, that mindset really just hit me home. that just hit home for me. And when I was reading it, I was like, yo, go Joseph. Fuck yeah. And I don't know, it just made me feel like something like in here when I was reading it, because the rest of his bloodline is fucking Alright, let me start, at least skip to the next good part before I crash out. Edom forgave Jacob. So what does this mean? So Jacob, as I just said, is Joseph's dad, right? This wasn't happening, I don't think this happened for a little bit afterwards. But Edom is Jacob's twin brother. And for some reason, their mom favored Jacob over Edom, and it almost caused like full-blown So Isaac, Jacob's dad, which is Joseph's grandpa, again, this is all one bloodline. So Isaac's dad is pretty much blind because he was hitting that shit. And it got to the point where he was getting so old, his eyesight's blind. So Edom himself, he's a very buff, hairy dude. He actively hunts. He's like, I would picture him like, he's like a survivalist type shit. And Jacob was literally written to have like no hair on like his body. He was like, so technically Edom is the eldest of the twins by like a couple minutes, I believe. I think it's like not even 3 minutes. I like to say, please, I'd have to look it up, but I don't want to interrupt the flow of this video. So I couldn't tell you why Rebecca did this shit, his wife. She favored Jacob so much that she made the venison that Edom was going to make for him and gave it to Jacob. He's like, yo, just act like Edom, because Isaac doesn't have any he doesn't have these, right? They didn't have these back in the day. They didn't have that shit back in the day. So he presents it to him, acts like Edom. I think he even puts a little fur on his hands just to make sure like he knows, because he has to feel him out. But my question to that is, how the fuck can you not tell how your sons sound? Like, they can't have sounded identical. I don't know, but that was just me personally. That pissed me off. So Edom comes back with the venison. And he's like, hey, Dad, I'm back. I got your venison. And Isaac's like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? My son literally just dropped this venison off. And Edom's literally crying in shambles on the floor, asking his dad to bless him. Because Jacob got the blessing by sliding that venison. So Edom crashed out. I think this is completely reasonable, because I had no idea why Rebecca would do some shit like that. I couldn't tell you why Rebecca did some shit like that. I had to reread that shit like 4 times to make sure I wasn't bugging. And fucking Edom was like, yo, after my dad dies, Jacob, it's your ass. You better not be in town when he dies, or it's over for you. So Rebecca called wind of this. She's like, yo, my son, you gotta get the fuck out of here right now. And then some time passes. And by time, I mean a lot of fucking time happened. And Edom found him. Edom was about to roll up on Jacob's camp with 400 hitters and just wipe everybody out. He was so pissed. But when he found Jacob, they squashed the beef. Edom forgave Jacob. And I thought that was like, up to the Joseph part, I thought that was like, wow. Props to Edom for like not just like going crazy, just crashing out, and just like, you know, he heard him out, and they just squashed the beef. And I thought that was more powerful in the Edom section, because technically, I don't know if Jacob, I can't tell based off the reading if he was like actively in on it or just doing what his mom said. But I'm willing to give Jacob the benefit of the doubt here. And I think Edom did too. That's why he let him, that's why, he didn't crash out completely on him. And I thought that was really, I thought that was sweet. Next to, what else did I say? Oh, fun fact. Jacob got name changed to Israel. And I think the funniest part about that is that the nation of Israel is just the nation of Jacob. Do with this information what you will, but I think that was funny. I found that funny. What else do I have? Oh, the only good thing Abraham did was slide for Lot. Now, what do I mean by this? So Abraham, all right, so phone backwards. The last one I read so far, this is Joseph. He has a bunch of kids. I took pictures of it on this, but I'm not going through all that shit right now. Then there was Jacob, which turned into Ishmael, the guy from the Moby Dick, the whale. Then there was Isaac. Then there was, I can't do it like this, but then there was Abraham. And Abraham was essentially the Saul Goodman of, I don't even know what time period you want to call this. I don't even actually know what you call this time period. It's before Christ, right? It's technically BC. I don't know what year this shit takes place, so. So Abraham he traveled with his nephew called Lot, who, he's just a chill guy. He didn't really do anything. They had so much stuff, they couldn't reside into their homeland. So Lot moved to the kingdom of Sodom. And there was a rebellion. This guy called Cheddar Bob, a.k.a. I couldn't tell you what the fuck was his actual name. Oh my god. I couldn't pronounce his regular name, so I called him Cheddar Bob. Oh my god, what was his name? I'm really trying to think about this. Cheddarmar? I think his name was Cheddarmar. And they revolted against him. During the confusion of all of this, the king of Sodom and Gomorrah pretty much raided his own kingdom. Essentially, pretty much raided his own kingdom. And Lot, in this order, he got jumped, robbed, and kidnapped by the king of Sodom. So once word got back to Abraham, he's like, there's no way they just slid on my nephew like this. And he assembled 318 hitters to spin the block. Right, but before all of that, he had to go get blessed by the king. What the I actually can't say this guy's name. What is his name? Melchizedek? I just called him Cheesedick. I don't know I think that's how you say his name. Melchizedek? Also, I had to look this up. This side note onto this. Side note, Melchizedek is technically a Jesus reference because Jesus himself was a priest of the Melchizedek. Take with that information what you will. I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny. Technical foreshadowing. Technical? What else? So he saved Lot. That was pretty much the only good thing Abraham did. Straight up. Because he was swindling the shit out of people. Am I good? Am I done with the good stuff I found? Alright. We're about to get to the bad portion of the video. And let me tell you right now, I crashed out multitude of times. Sometimes I just had to put the book down and just smoke up. Straight up, just smoke up. And just reflect on what I just read. Well, I felt it, man. Alright. The number one bad thing, at least for me personally, when I read it, was the Noah crash out. Now, what do you mean by this? I got into a lot of shit for this at work. Me personally, I think Noah's an asshole. But the logic is, here's my logic on this shit, and I'm about to hype everything up. So, God, I'm gonna build up the Noah thing so I can explain my shit. So, God crashed out and was gonna flood everybody. He was I'm sick of this shit. Everybody's evil. The Nephilim are fucking everybody. I gotta restart, bro. But he was cool with this one guy called Noah. And Noah had 100 years to make an ark that would have sustained all, species on the planet. He had 100 years to do this, I'm going to be honest, my very first time reading this, I thought he had a week. I thought he had a week to do all this, and I just flat out said bullshit. I flat out was like, yo, there's no way he made this in a week. He had 100 years. He had 100 years to gather all species of animal on Earth, build this thing. I'm going to get into the measurements of all of this shit. Do I actually have that written down? No, but I think I remember the calc. So, a cubit is 22.5 feet. It's what they used in the Bible. It's I'm actually gonna look this shit up so I can actually run the calc on this and give you like an exact number of what I'm talking about. I just have to flip to it. I'm sorry. I really have to edit this shit. I'm gonna be honest. I opened straight to it. Sweet. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits. So 22.5 times 300. That's like 6,700, 500. No, I'm sorry. I fucked that up. 6,000, 700, 550. Why am I saying 500? I'm fucking dumb. So this is actually, I'm going to go back to this. They also had a concept of X, Y, and Z axes. I thought that was kind of funny. And it's going to be 30 cubits, so 22.5 times 3. You just move the 0 down, right? So, okay, it was like 600 feet tall, 6,750 feet length, and the width of it was 50 cubits. I think that's a little over 1,000 feet wide. Because I'm fucking up the decimal. So he had 100 years to build that. That's bigger than like four fucking football stadiums. And he had to gather all animals on foot. Because there are no cars. He had 100 years to travel the world and gather all the animals. This is good. This is not where I have the issue with it. After the flood happened, also you have to be in no shoes for this. He had to grind 100 years straight. 100 years straight, travel the world, gather every single animal. And this is where the 7 clean, 2 unclean part came in. And I thought that was really cool because the only 2 were established in like media, as far as I'm aware. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So after that, literally 40 days of rain. If all you see is water. I had to run the calc on this. So as of right now, Mount Everest is probably one of the biggest mountains in the world. The way this was described, at least to me, picture 337 feet above Mount Everest. That was the world for a month and a half, pretty much. That's all you saw. And you had to gather all the food. You have to feed all the animals. There's shit everywhere. So I'm like, obviously Noah was a little stressed. But this doesn't give me the excuse of why he's on number 1 on the bad list. So after he survived the flood, God was like, dude, good job, bro. You did it. You can just do whatever you want now. You're good. You got it, bro. And so you know what Noah did? He made a vineyard in his backyard. I think this is the first example of don't get high off your own supply in history. Because he got blackout drunk. And let me explain to you, the first time I read this, I had to reread it because I had to make sure I wasn't bugging. So Noah had 3 sons. They were called Ham, Shemar. Fuck me, what was the last one? Give me a sec. Nope. Japheth. Oh my God. I found it. Shem, Ham, Japheth. I'm sorry. I was bothering the shit out of me. So, he gets blackout drunk. I'm talking blackout. He was on a bender. And Ham found him blacked out in his tent. I'm gonna get into the deets after that. So Ham found him, went to his brother. He's like, "Yo, guys, Dad's blackout drunk," and they're like, "Yo, bro, you saw him naked? Nah, cool, bro." So I don't want to get up, but they literally moonwalked and put a cloak over him. And once he woke up, he obviously knew something was up because when he was blackout drunk. He was blackout drunk naked in his tent. Then he found a tarp on him, and he's like, "What the fuck happened?" So Shem and Japheth were like, "Yo, Ham found you blacked out drunk." And instead, this is crazy to me. So instead of crashing out on Ham, he crashed out on his least favorite grandson, Canaan. That's the only logical explanation for this. And he cursed his own grandson. I wasn't calling him a drunk or anything at work. I was literally calling him an asshole for this one move. Because I couldn't comprehend it. I can't comprehend it right now. That's why I'm crashing out. So Noah cursed his own grandson. I actually want to get the word for word on this. I want to use word for word because I want to make sure I'm not bugging on this. Nope. 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 Oh, I found it. Oh, yeah, I found that shit. Just listen to this shit. Pause and just think about it and make sure I'm not bugging on this. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, "Cursed be Canaan." Canaan is one of Ham's sons. "A servant of servants shall be unto his brethren." And he said, "Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant." And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. And the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Because Ham found him blackout drunk in his tent. Now, I've heard the counter arguments for this, but they all have to work in order for this to actually make sense. For one, it wasn't a hey Dad, are you okay? It was him being actively disrespectful. And I apparently it was a thing back in the day. I had to look through all this shit to make sure I wasn't bugging. Excuse me. 2, he couldn't actually do anything to Ham himself because he was blessed by God, and I guess Canaan wasn't. So he cursed out Canaan instead of Ham. 3, it wasn't actually Noah that cursed him. It was God. Because I'm gonna debunk all of that shit in a second. And then 4, it was all of the above. So the first thing, I might believe actually, because it might be back in the day, it could have been seen as disrespectful, like internally disrespectful. So you lose respect in your family. It was a big patriarchal thing. So it could have been Ham trying to usurp Noah for power. I didn't read it like that personally, but I've heard interpretations of that, so I'm gonna let that slide. The second, I don't even remember what I said. Oh, Ham being blessed by God and Canaan not. I don't know why you wouldn't get your sons hooked up with God's blessing, but that was fucked up. So instead of cursing his son, he cursed his least favorite grandson because he was blessed by God. All right, maybe. Then the third one, I have to think about this for a while. So first of all, if Noah actually did it, that means God was okay with it. But let's say God is all-knowing and shit, right? And he knew the Canaanites were going to become assholes later down in history. You couldn't do anything to prevent that, bro. But instead, he doubled down. And he's like, fuck you, Canaan. You ain't shit. Flat out. He just said he ain't shit. And that did not sit with me at all. And then, later on when I'm reading, you see, like, Abraham, Isaac, even Jacob, to some degree, all say, yo, don't you marry my son to one of those filthy fucking Canaanites. And I'm reading this just like, Noah really dropped the ball on this because he fucked his whole grandson's lineage by crashing out on him when he was blackout drunk. And to me, that's just unacceptable. And this is what I just want to say to the people at work. Good people can still do bad things, and bad people can still do good things. Noah had one bad thing. He saved humanity, but he cursed out his own grandson for no full-blown reason. Unless somebody wants to go into the comics and explain this shit to me, I can't stomach that. I can't stomach it. And that just made me crash the fuck out. Because I feel so bad for Canaan. He literally didn't do anything, and he got smited for some shit his dad did. Like, how the fuck is that fair? What else did I put on? Alright. I'm gonna leave the Noah shit at that. What did I write this? History repeating itself, in parentheses, Abraham, Isaac. Oh, shit. Like, half of this list is the same thing. Oh, fuck. So what the fuck did I mean by this? So back in the day, as I stated earlier, Abraham was essentially a Saul Goodman of fucking BC times because he just kept swindling people out of their cattle and land with Sarah. Don't get me started on that bitch. I'll get to that bitch later upon. I crashed out on her. If you look up whoremonger in the dictionary, it's a picture of this dumb bitch. So, I noticed a trend when I was reading. The same shit was happening, like, throughout history. Like, father became son. So, Abraham was a con artist and a swindler, yeah? Isaac started doing the same shit. And then once Jacob came back in, he started doing the same shit. That's why I think Joseph made such an impact on me. Because he finally broke the chain. He was the chain breaker in his family and was a genuine good dude. And there was a shit ton of incest. I kept writing them like, no way. It was actually so bad. Let me give you oh my well fell. Let me give you an example of this. So Jacob so Nahor, this guy called Nahor, Nahor, is Abraham's brother. He is Lot's dad. We'll get to Lot after this because he got done fucking dirty. He got done so fucking dirty for no reason. And they kept fucking their cousins, alright? Just gonna flat out, they kept fucking their cousins. Or step cousins. They kept fucking like their own blood. And the incest shit just started to get to me. Like, it got me really bad when Jacob did it. Because he had two, I think, cousins. Oh, excuse me. Oh my God, don't stop smoking, kids. So he had two cousins, Leah and Rachel. And Rachel wanted to fuck Jacob. And at first I was like, oh, thank God, at least Leah's normal. And fucking, she's not trying to fuck her cousin or uncle or however the fuck that weird fucking family tree works. I have all the paperwork in my house. It's so fucking weird. But Leah literally crashed out and he's like, no, I'm trying to suck this guy's dick. And I had to throw it away. I had to throw the book away and just smoke. Because I was done with it. I was full blown done with it. So he banged both of his cousins. And also, they had hella kids. I think Rachel by herself had 13, and Rachel had 16. 16 kids with your cousin, bro? Oh my god, they're gonna be so fucking pissed. Yeah, literally the fourth thing I wrote was the fucking incest. There is so much of this shit. And I'm just like, bro, we gotta keep the bloodline pure. While I say this, we're gonna go... Alright, if you see it right here, I have this, I had the fucking incest and the history repeating itself thing. Because they were keeping the bloodline pure. I guess they didn't know back in the day it was a bad thing. But now, let me get to something that actually grinded my fucking gears. What happened a lot. That fucked me up so bad. As I said, he's Abraham's nephew, and he was in the kingdom of Sodom. So God goes to Abraham, and he's like, yo, I'm nuking the actual fuck out of Sodom and Gomorrah. And Jacob's like, yo, please, they're just people, dude. I'm begging you. Let me find like 50 people that are actually good-hearted in Sodom. And if I find them, you're not going to nuke it. And he's like, yeah, okay. And God's like, okay. And he kept bumping the number down until it was essentially Lot's family. Essentially, it was Lot's family. So he got all his shit back after, the king of Gomorrah slid on him. And he's old now. He's like 99. Him, his wife, and his 2 daughters are fleeing. His wife looks back on Sodom getting nuked and is turned into a salt statue. I'm not making that up. She turned into a salt statue. And some people actually believe like they found her as a statue. And it was fucked up. So Lot and his 2 kids, I don't even remember the name because they pissed me off what happened next. I don't even remember their fucking names. And it's just them in the cave, right? With all of their supplies. And they go, yo, we have to keep the bloodline pure. And Dad's the only one around. So they got him blackout drunk and raped their own dad. The first day, the eldest had her way with her. Then the second day, the youngest one was like, I don't know about this. And he's like, yo, you gotta do it for the fam. And the eldest is like, yo, you gotta do it for the fam. And they were raping their old man for days. For fucking days on end until he fucking died. I crashed out for him. He didn't do shit. He did not do shit to deserve any of that shit. That just pissed me off so bad. That was so fucking bad. What the fuck? What did I write down for this? I have to have been fucking baked. I just wrote down Joseph false flag op, and I don't even know what the fuck that means. Oh, I think I know what that means. It's when his brothers sold him into slavery and they faked his death. That kind of pissed me off. Now, what was the last thing on this list? Eve selling. Now, what does this mean? I'm about to get some flack for this. Eve's a dumb bitch for even listening to a talking snake. I'm sorry, bro. I guess he didn't make common sense when that shit happened. Because why would you listen to some talking snake out of little fucking nowhere? I'm sorry. But that's dumb as fuck. You have like no reason. He's like, oh, okay. I guess I'll give her some slack. I'll give her some slack. Because she literally was the first dumb bitch ever created. Alright, let me stop with that. Let me stop with that. That's fine. But what do I think of all of this shit? And I think I figured it out very recently. He's giving God in the Bible is giving people that are either super righteous or scumbags the opportunity to redeem himself. Because if you look at the Abraham bloodline, he was literally a swindler. He literally swindled people out of their land, and it was a generational thing. He did that. Isaac did that. Jacob did that. Joseph broke the chain. He broke the family chain. So What do I mean by what do I get from all of this? He's giving people that are not naturally good to be good. To be good. And for them, I think it is a way of being good in their eyes. Like in the moment. They think they're trying to live their best life, doing what they can. But Joseph himself was like abhorrently good. To the point where I wouldn't have even noticed like him being related to all of these guys. And I think that was the point. Everybody's an asshole, but has the choice to be good. And Joseph chose to be actually good and help people. I think that was fine. I think that was it. I don't know. I'm still like not personally religious, but I'm still gonna read so I can hold a dialect with people that actually do read it. And I found like funny little facts that people that have read the book for eons or years just haven't caught on. Like I was really happy when I found the whales thing. Like my first time reading this, I found the whales thing, and he's like, "There's no way that's real." And they looked it up and it was real. I was like, "Oh yeah, I was right. I was right about this." But the Noah shit really did piss me off. That pissed me off the most out of everything. That was literally number one, the first thing I wrote down about any of this. The Noah crash out was completely unjustified. And unless some shit is proven, unless some shit's proven that Canaan did some shit beforehand and Ham was actually blessed by God and he couldn't be cursed, he still cursed out his own grandson. Like, he fucked his whole lineage. Not his whole lineage, but like a portion of his lineage. For almost no reason. Almost, pretty much. Let me know in the comments if I'm bugging on this. I'm free to talk about this shit. I think the moral of what I'm trying to get to, or at least what I'm reading with, you will always have the option to be good. The question is, are you going to take yourself up on that offer? And I think that's where I'm going to end this video. I think that's when I'm going to end this video because I'm reading Exodus. There'll be another review, I guess a review or like hot take. I don't know if I'm hot taking or not. So, let me know if you want another one of these. Actually, no, I'm probably just going to do it anyway when I do it. Just because I want to do this shit now. And I feel like I need to air this out. I'm not the best at articulating my words. But hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Y'all like listen to what I said. Hopefully maybe you can read point some shit out that I got wrong. But this is my initial thoughts. I had some time to, I told you I'm not good at articulating my thoughts. I had time to articulate, and this is what came up with it. So, hopefully, I'll see y'all next time. I'm going to end the video now. And yes, I will be in this period platypus outfit every video. You got me fucked up. Bye, y'all.